Welcome to Conversation with Zaki Baruti, with your host Zaki Baruti. And like always, I want to give a shout out to my biological family. What's happening? To the Universal African Peoples Organization, what's going on? And to New Life Evangelistic Center family headed by Reverend Rice. Keep up the great work. And a shout out to our cameraman Bob. On that note, we're going to have another great show because in studio with me, we have an international entrepreneur that's with us all the way from Cameroon, West Africa. And I'm speaking none other than my good sister, Mary.
Yes.
Erise Mary.
Erise Mary.
Right, I didn't want to mess it up. Okay then.
But you did it right good.
So welcome to our show. When I begin all of my shows, I always like for my guests to give a little bit background of themselves so that we'll know who you are.
Okay.
So share whatever about yourself.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I am so glad that you invited me. I am Dr. Erise Mary. I am from Cameroon. I speak English and French. I am an author, a pastor. I am a philanthropist, an entrepreneurial leadership coach, and a mindset mentor. I am an author of 3 books, and I speak on leadership. I speak on mindset, developing a positive mindset. I have been privileged to travel over 15 countries.
How many?
15.
15, okay.
Speaking and preaching and teaching and coaching, on leadership and entrepreneurship. So I am here in St. Louis. I am a visionary, the president of Emmi Empire, Emmi Empire Incorporation. This is an empowerment NGO, nonprofit organization that is here to empower the youth and the young women, especially the young single mothers, on becoming leaders by examples, helping them to identify their purpose and set their goals and values and achieve financial freedom. And I have, by the grace of God, worked a lot in my country that I become the ambassador of the youth entrepreneurship in Cameroon. That was given to me by the Minister of the Youth and Civil Education. I have other stuff that I've been doing around the world, and there'll be different titles. I'm not into all the titles, but the result speaks if you go to our website, Emmi Empire or EmmiEmpireIncorporation.org. You will see more about Emmi right there and the things that we do.
So, and you do a lot, wear a lot of different hats. Yeah. And in hand, I'm have looked through your magazine, Emmi Empire, yeah. And I'm very impressed because you're dealing with business, leadership, entrepreneurial, involvement, and on the front cover, great picture of yourself and yes. The leadership issue, and leadership is very important.
Yes.
You also made mention that you've published 3 books. I have one on hand,
yes.
And the one I have on hand is Millennials, Leadership Testament Manual.
Yes.
What are the other 2 titles of the other books?
We have The Bride of Christ, which is my very first book.
The what now?
The Bride of Christ.
Okay.
And then the second one is a 40 days devotional. It's very powerful. It helps you to go through your morning. You study, you meditate, and then you take down notes.
Okay then. So your 2 thrusts is on a spiritual level and on the business level. Now going back to your magazine, how often do you publish this magazine, and is this publication just in the United States, or also is it in your home country?
For some reason, this magazine has been to almost all the countries I've been to.
Oh, okay, then. That's
so
great.
That I would say is a global magazine because you find it in Dubai, you find it in Cameroon, you find it in Nigeria, you find it in Ivory Coast, you find it here in the USA. So it's kind of spreading. However, I do it once a year. Once a year because I'm the sole sponsor of that. I don't have partners yet in that one. So the whole idea in this one is bringing together leaders with visible results, telling their real stories and how they climb up to success. So I believe that the millennials have a lot of lessons to learn from the people who have gone ahead, So that is what we do. We bring our leaders all over the globe.
Yeah, I was
But
just
this
going to
edition,
ask in terms of leadership, or you just it's a highlight of international leaders?
yes.
Okay, from
So here you will see John Maxwell inside there.
see what?
John Maxwell, you see other leaders inside inside
Right,
there.
right.
And then you see some billionaires in my country, Cameroon. So I kind of get to mingle a lot because I have a platform that I host an annual event called the Entrepreneurial Leadership Summit. It hosts once a year in my country, Cameroon, in Africa. And in this program, we bring together 500 to 1,000 young entrepreneurs, and we bring the billionaires in Africa to teach them how they succeeded in Africa with the climate, with all the difficulties, with all the hurdles that comes with being in Africa. But they are still billionaires. You know, they still fly private jets and do all that. So I bring them on my stage to tell us real story, how they started, how they failed, how all that, to give us real life stories. So when
when did you initially start the magazine?
I started the magazine in it was, if it's 3 years ago, now it should be in 2020.
Okay, 2020.
Yes, in 2020.
Okay, then. Now, in terms of your book, Millennium's Leadership Testament Manual, when did you publish that book?
I published this book in 2022. It was just a millennial leadership testament. And then when my spiritual mother, Bishop Pamela K. Dillon, read through it, she's like, this is so good. This is a manual. This is not a book. This gives you directions to everything. You can read this one and you're not a leader. You can become a leader by going through all the topics. For example, the first topic is gonna look for a problem and solve it, because a leader is a problem solver. It's not a title. It's not a chair, a position you take. It's a service you give to the people. You know, it's not the dress you put on. It's the ability to mingle with the ones that you're leading. So it's so very practical.
Okay, on that note, though, we're going to take our first break.
These are very difficult times, and so many people are giving up. I want you to experience hope in the midst of God's cathedral of creation. And that's why I have a free book that I want to send you. So that hope can begin to flow in your life. And you'll be encouraged to go out in the middle of creation and hear the birds and the trees and all of creation speak hope to you. Now, I'll send this to you absolutely free of charge. All you have to do is just write me, Larry Rice, at P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri. That's 63166. Or you can call 314-421-302 and request your free copy of Experiencing Hope in God's Creation. We need hope right now. And hope is just right there, ready to fill you. You may be in a dark, dirty, lonely place at this moment. I have a whole chapter on that, how seeds are planted there and how they sprout. That and much more, right here. Just write me at P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri. That's 63166, and receive your free copy.
God loves a cheerful giver. Even though things are really tough right now, you can make a difference in the lives of so many. New Life has been doing this work for 50 years, and we have seen God's gracious goodness through people like you who have participated in this work. There are so many people who are suffering. More people are becoming homeless for the first time with the rising costs of inflation and food and housing and so many other commodities. We need help. You can make a difference today in the lives of so many. I'm reminded of all of our partners throughout 50 years who have been blessed as they've given to the work of New Life. We want you to participate and feel God's blessing working in and through you as you work in this ministry. We need partners like you. We have so many people, and we just give God the glory and the praise. We are thankful for even people like Bernie Hayes and Zaki Baruti and all the work that they do through New Life. If you enjoy their show, give God the glory. We're so thankful that they have been faithful with New Life for so many years. You can make a difference today by giving your tax-deductible gift to P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri. Or go to newlifeevangelisticcenter.org. Or call to get involved in this incredible work.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti. In studio with me is Sister Erise Mary.
Erise Mary.
Erise Mary. And she is a powerful entrepreneur, international entrepreneur, and a spiritual leader in her own right.
Yeah.
She comes from Cameroon, West Africa. She speaks a couple languages. In fact, bonjour, comment allez-vous aujourd'hui?
Oh, bonjour, merci, je veux bien, et toi, ça va?
Well, you know, Yana s'appelle Zaki Baruti.
Moi, je m'appelle Erise Mary.
So anyway, on that note,
That's a nice
and
one.
That's all, and for my audience, that's all I know. So also, I just, as I was going through your magazine, you took me back to the great Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, who back in the early 20th century published a magazine that was called The Negro World, and his publication was not just in English. He also had Spanish and French. And as I was fingering through your magazine, you have some articles that's
Yes, French and English is
French
bilingual.
and English. The dynamics of Cameroon, we were talking off camera, that Cameroon, you know, I'm a historian, been blessed to travel. I've been to 34 countries.
Whoa, okay.
I hope to get to 50 before, as I always say, check out. But here, the dynamics of Cameroon, you were sharing with me, it's the two major languages are...
Yes, we have two major languages, French and English. However, French have 80% and the 20% is English. And I am from the English side, but we are dominated by the French.
Okay.
So we have more of our culture, lifestyle, everything is more French-like.
Okay, then. I just found that very interesting, just historically, the dominant languages, as you mentioned, French and English, is an extension of the colonial period where
yes.
people from England and France dominated Cameroon as much of other Africa. Yeah. So is Cameroon a place that you would encourage people to go see, you know, on the international level? And why is it important to travel as part of leadership?
Yes, as a leader, you must travel. You must get out of your comfort zone. You must go to different countries and territories and all that. First of all, for me, a good leader is someone who embraces diversity, because you have to give space in your comfort and allow other people come in you, and you allow yourself to go to other people. I've been to India. I've been to strange places where you will not believe somebody goes, and I eat their food.
Wait a minute, going back to India, I would. What is that place? I'm slipping my mind.
Mumbai.
Huh?
Is it Mumbai?
Mumbai, but also the place where the Temple of Love or something.
Okay.
I can't.
Anyway. Delhi, so, you know, when I go there, I don't carry my food from my country to there. I eat what they have. When I come to America, I eat what the American bring.
I know that's right.
So Cameroon is a very interesting place to visit, and that's why I hosted the events, and few Cameroonians came because that was the beginning. However, I plan on doing the event we did here last weekend. It was on the 13th of May. We had the event at Union Station, and it's going to be annual. I want to bring diversity. I enjoy diversity. It's freedom. It's peace. It's beautiful just knowing that I have a sister in China. I have a friend in Dubai. I have another friend in different countries that I can call, and we can just say, hey, how are you? I have a friend in America. So I think that this is a time where everyone who calls themselves leader, be it in politics, be it in religion, be it in business, you should embrace diversity, because the world has already become a globe. It's already a globe. It's already become a global village. And the people who are not yet in it are the ones standing outside, because we are now a globe. If you go to Dubai, where you find the big events happening, you will not even feel like you're not from there. You know, the freedom is real. You know, if you come to Africa, the reception is going to be so great. You're going to feel like, you can talk about that one.
Absolutely.
You're going to feel like, I want to move over here.
Right, absolutely. And having visited at least 10 countries in Africa, it's just like going home.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, going back to you recently held a program here in St. Louis. You want to just share the concept of your program that you just recently held here in St. Louis, early part of this month?
Yes,
May.
sir. Yes. This program in St. Louis, I would say it's the most difficult thing I've done. This is the highest risk I've taken, just obeying what God wants me to do. And I just went into it like that. So coming to this program, it's an annual program that I wanted to do in the United States. And I chose St. Louis because I have been coming here. My spiritual parents lives here. You know, Apostle John and Bishop K. Dillon at the Agape Time Ministry, where I'm the overseer. They made me overseer. I've been coming here for 8 years. And I have studied the people. For 8 years, I have just been quietly observing stuff, playing around, and trying to know the character, the attitude of the people and stuff. And I discovered that they are very close people. They're territorial. They are very territorial and a little bit of pride. And that doesn't go well with being global. Because if we talk about global, we're talking about someone who is free to share space. They're not ready to share space, no share their knowledge, no share their capacity. They're not ready to share or friendship. They don't share friendship. Over 8 years, I cannot even boast of a friend because of the closeness. They are afraid. There is no real freedom. There is no real love. There is no real. It's not real. And this is a state I've seen where we have less people from different countries staying here. In New York, it's different. In DC, you have a whole lot of people. But here, you find mostly Americans and white folks. I'm like, where are the strangers? And that is not normal. And that is why the city is quiet and it's strange. So we're bringing this stuff here, bringing the event here. I think that God wanted me to come here and bring this event and bring in other cultures and other people. And it's going to cause the people to mingle. If they cannot go to these places, I'm going to bring the places to them.
Okay, then. So you're just trying to globally connect everyone that you project in terms of leadership. Yeah. On that note, we're going to take another break.
It's so easy to get tired out, burned out, and worn out, and that's why we have to let the rivers of living water flow over us and believe that God is doing a new and great work at this time, standing up to the oppressors that come from every different direction, having God wash us from clean from all the fears, the worries, the uncertainties, the what-ifs, and stand up for justice at this moment. Justice doesn't mean just us. It means letting the rivers of living water flow through us as we get in touch with God. This past week, I've been reading a book on George Washington Carver, a great man who had every excuse in the world just to kind of go through life. But instead, when he saw a problem, he cried out to God and believed him for a solution. He cried out to God at a young age, said, Lord, show me your universe. And he said, it's too great and too big for you. Well, Lord, show me man, how he's made up. He said, that's too big for you. And then he said, Lord, show me a peanut. Show me how a peanut's made up. And what did he do? God used that man to turn the South upside down as he came up with all these different usages for the peanut. And instead of just growing cotton, they started growing peanuts. And he started showing usage for sweet potatoes and so many other forms of vegetation in life. One man calling out and letting the wisdom of God flow in him and through him. This is the first day of the rest of our lives. So let's give the Lord our life, not our excuses. Let's believe him, like George Washington Carver did, to do exceedingly abundantly beyond we can even ask or think. This is a glorious day, and he's promised to release his unlimited power in us. He says, ask, it shall be given you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, it shall be opened unto you. He tells us in John 14:12, behold, I tell you the truth. If you believe in me, Jesus said, you can do the very works I do. Yes, even greater things. I'm going to the Father. Whatever you ask the Father in my name, I will do it. George Washington Carver did that. You and I can do that. We can see the unlimited unlocked in our lives as we stop whining and start becoming winners and let the power of God flow in us and through us.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti. In the studio with me is a beautiful and talented young lady, entrepreneur and spiritual person, Erise Mary. Mm-hmm. Okay, then. Going back to, you pushed the whole concept of leadership. Why should people want to aspire to be a leader? Some people say, hey, I'm just cool with being in the background or what have you. I
think everyone who wants to solve a problem, because for me, leadership is solving a problem. Taking a step, in my book, he said, taking a step in pursuing an iconic goal until you achieve it. Everybody, to me, should be a leader. And a leader is a servant, someone who wants to change the society, the community, the people. That's what. So if people are shying away from leadership, then I would think that is why St. Louis is so quiet, because many people don't want to be leaders. You don't want to speak. A leader should talk. You should come out. You should express yourself. You should be able to look at this problem and talk about it and look for a solution and fix it. So I think the leadership, as John Maxwell said, everything rises and falls on leadership. The city grows as far as the leadership is powerful. So when I look at the city in St. Louis, I know the leadership is not very, very strong because the people don't want to come out. It's like they're afraid to. I don't know, but leadership in business, in the church, in the family, in the society is paramount, is the first thing.
So within your perception of problems that need to be solved, let's say one of your solutions on the economic end, and I know your program was focused on women of worth also.
This year, yes.
But in terms of, what do you see a major problem, especially facing people of color, black folks, as relates to the business world?
Yes. I think one of the business problems that I faced, let me talk about here in the city of St. Louis. The business is collaboration. They have not understood collaboration because business requires a lot of collaboration and partnership and investors. So next year we're going to focus on how to invest in St. Louis. Because when investors come in, when they come in, they bring cultures, they bring stuff, and that's how development springs out. So I think one of the things that they must open up is collaboration and prepare the place and make it comfortable for investors to bring in their money. There is no society that makes it without investors coming in. In New York, you have them. In Florida, you have them. In Chicago, they are there. People coming in to invest, to buy houses, buy lands, and do stuff. So I think one of the things that our city needs, I call it our city because I have a home right here by my parents. So what the city needs right now is to open up for collaboration and partnership.
So you mentioned your home. So do you have, are you a dual citizen? You have two homes, one in Cameroon and one here?
I am a Cameroonian and I have an American parent.
Okay.
So my mom died. I have a long story, and my mother Pam became my adopted mother and my spiritual mother. So I try every year to come over and spend time with them, and my children come to spend time, and they come to Africa to spend time with me too. So they gave me a home in America.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right then. So, and with that, in terms of on a prior program we had. One was speaking of the lack of people not attending churches and spiritual faith-based institutions. Do you see that as a problem also?
Yes, I see that as a problem because it's like you have to pick and choose the person you like. If you don't like this person, you don't approve of their message, and you kind of discourage other people not to approve of what they are doing. And that's not a good spirit. That's a very bad spirit. We have to encourage one another. And I am a pastor, but I don't criticize other people's beliefs, and I don't force them to come into mine. Everyone have the right to choose. Even God made it clear that you choose who you want to follow. If anybody, it's a choice. So you don't want to put that on everybody. However, when they decide where they are going to honor people's choices. So don't be, I see there's a lot of group, we don't like this one, so we stay here, we don't like these people. It's like a chain of little groups, and that is not building our society.
Okay then. Now, I pose the next question after I break.
Okay.
As New Life Evangelistic Center works to get back into the 1411 Locust Building, it has first responders that are on the streets day after day. It's helping the hurting and homeless, women and children through a wide variety of safe houses, along with homeless veterans and others that are in need, on-the-job training programs, and much more. And all of it's possible because of those of you that are supporting the work of the New Life Evangelistic Center. It's New Life Evangelistic Center that owns and operates NLEC TV, also seen on your set on 24.2. I want to encourage you to have that app put on your phone, NLEC TV. Encourage your family and friends to do the same. And as you support New Life Evangelistic Center and NLEC TV, you're also helping the Zaki Baruti Show and other programs that New Life Evangelistic Center produces. I'm asking you to please continue keep New Life in your prayers as we're working to be there when people are hurting. There's so many homeless women and children, so many people that are in need. And it's the prayers of caring people like you that make it possible for us to help each and every one of these individuals.
When we contemplate the grace and the love that we see in Jesus Christ and His sacrifice on the cross, We naturally want to generously give to others. We should generously give because we so graciously and generously receive from the love and the power of God to set ourselves free from sin. Remember, Christian, it is so important to generously give as a witness of the gospel that you yourself have received in your own life. It is important to give to churches, not just money, but your time and your resources as well, recognizing what you yourself have received, because all things, all good things that we have come from our Father above. Give generously and joyfully.
Now is the time to pray. And as you're praying, please remember New Life Evangelistic Center and its daily work among the hurting, the hungry, and the homeless. Remember the Bible, ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it shall be opened to you.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti, and we only have a couple more minutes with Erise Mary, the entrepreneur, author of a powerful magazine, Emmi Empire, and a subtopic magazine, Africa. And she's the author of 3 books, and on hand I have one, which is Millennium's Leadership Testament Manual. Now, for anybody that, I think you had shared, how would, early on, how would people get a copy of your books, or, if they might be interested in purchasing the book or also your magazine?
On the website. So we're loading the magazine on the website and the book on the website. We had put them on Amazon. I don't want to talk about that, but it's a very long route to get my money out of it. So I rather use my website. So they go to emmiempire.org, Emmi Empire Incorporation, the INC.org, and you will find the book and the magazine. So we're uploading. We're going to load the one that is coming out this year. The one for this year have the Superwomen and the men in business. So I did Superwomen this year because I wanted to honor these women. But however, Emmi Empire doesn't focus so much only on women. Business is business. Money doesn't have gender. Leadership is not gender. Leadership is ideas. So I think that was the first and last edition. Maybe others will come. So next year we're going to have men come in for awards and speakers as speakers. And we're hoping to bring in like 25 countries.
About 25 countries for an international conference similar to what you just conducted?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then approximately what time period were you looking at?
We're looking at June 20, is it June 21? Around that time. It's going to be like June, the last week of June.
Okay, then.
Yes.
All right, then. All right, we only got a minute left for one final statement.
Okay, I just want to say thank you first for inviting me. And if you're watching with me, you are a leader. Be a leader by example. Stand up, lead your society, lead your community, be a builder, and ensure that you work and leave a legacy for your people.
Absolutely, absolutely. One last gem. We got 1 minute left.
Okay, and stay spiritual. Pray and ensure that you have a quality time with God so that you can have a good spirit and a good mind. That's the only person who can help you be the best of yourself.
I appreciate that, and I knew you had that in you to share that. So everybody, you heard that, please do so. On that note, again, want to thank you for being with us this evening. And to the audience, like always, we say join an organization that speaks truth to power and has a proven track record. We say join the Universal African Peoples Organization. As well as at every election, make sure that you go out and know, first of all, the issues, and make sure that you vote. On that note, may God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.